Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Richmond's Morning News here on News Radio WRVA. My name is Rich Herrera. Thank you for joining us on this Monday, April 13th. Of course, we'll check in with Brian Kilmeade in just a bit of Fox News. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on for you today. Thank you for joining us here on the Voice of Virginia News Radio WRVA. All right, we've got a lot, like I said, going on right now. We will, of course, be giving away your opportunity to win, well, $100,000 today. That $100,000 giveaway is going to happen today. The opportunity, I should say, for you to win $100,000 as we celebrate our 100th birthday. As we celebrate our 100th birthday, we'll have that for you coming up today on the program, so we're pretty excited about that. It's all brought to you by RoofMax. We'll have an update on what's going on in Iran. Eric Swalwell. Hakeem Jeffries was in town over the weekend checking on his $33 million investment to try to fix the races in the Commonwealth of Virginia. All of that up for discussion today. But right now, let's just start off as we do every Monday with Richmond's Morning News Brief. The big story of the day, of course, Hakeem Jeffries checking on his project. That's right. Hakeem Jeffries started off, he was here when the governor was inaugurated as the chief leader, chief executive officer, whatever you want to call it, of the Commonwealth of Virginia. So Hakeem Jeffries was in town for that. He came back again this weekend. He's invested a ton of money. $50 million has been invested into this Commonwealth with all of these confusing ads telling you, yes, in order to save democracy, let's fix the vote. Here's Hakeem Jeffries this weekend here in Henrico County. Oh, by the way, I'll just tell everybody, we are beta testing something right now that we are thinking of taking the show and putting it up on a live stream. So we're beta testing it right now. So just in case you follow my YouTube channel or me on Facebook, that's what you can see right now as well. So we'll never know, man. We're going to keep growing this radio show. Anyway, here's Hakeem Jeffries over the weekend here in Virginia.
Number one.
Donald Trump has been a failure. We know we're dealing with the most corrupt administration, the Trump cartel, in American history. So they have nothing positive to offer the American people. So they've decided that they were going to try to cheat by engaging in an unprecedented gerrymandering scheme. But they thought that Democrats were going to step back. But we're making clear, we're not here to step back. We're here to fight back. We got work to do. We continue to fight one battle after another. That's what we're involved in, fighting one battle after another. And what's in front of us right now, of course, is this referendum. Are you ready to push a yes vote by April 21st? Are you ready to stop the MAGA power grab?
Yes!
Are you ready to take back our country in November?
Yes! That's why I voted no on redistricting. The whole idea is so preposterous. We're going to save democracy by ripping democracy up in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and you, Virginia, are going to be asked to be the people that have the guts to say we will fix our elections. We'll no longer have fair elections in Virginia in the name of democracy. Square that up for me, Speaker Jeffries. We'll talk more about that as we get closer and closer to next Tuesday, which is Election Day, here on Richmond's Morning News. Second story of the day that we're following for you. The Iran talks are over. J.D. Vance returns back to the United States. Nothing was accomplished other than we know what their demands are. They know what our demands are. And Donald Trump will now take the one chess piece they have on the board, which is shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. And he's about to open that back up. Here's the latest from Fox News.
Number two.
Said he will send ships to carry out an all-in or all-out blockade to keep Iran from selling oil to only those it chooses. On Fox's Sunday Morning Futures, the president said he doesn't believe the U.S. will go it alone.
We think that numerous countries are going to be helping us with this also, but we're putting on a complete blockade. We're not going to let Iran make money on selling oil to people that they like and not people that they don't like.
U.S. Central Command said the blockade will be in effect after 10 a.m. Eastern Time Monday. Iran continues to say it has a right to nuclear energy for peaceful purposes. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
I was watching over the weekend. There was somebody on TV I think it was on Newsmax. It is pointing out the fact that, they want to have their nuclear power, and that's fine. But the fact that their nuclear power, the uranium they have is enriched to 60%, which has nothing to do with nuclear power. That is almost weapons grade. So they say one thing, do another. We'll talk about that this morning here on Richmond's Morning News. All right, story number 3. Rory wobbles a little bit on Saturday and a little bit on Sunday, but at the end of the day, he's the last man standing, a repeat winner for the Green Jacket in Augusta.
Number 3.
Is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
Scotty Scheffler made a run, but just couldn't catch up. Rory played great on Thursday, great on Friday, wobbled a little bit on Saturday, then steadied himself and won the Masters, his second Green Jacket in a row. Congratulations to the Irishman. Now 2 back-to-back Masters victories for a guy they said could never win at Augusta. All right, story number 4. Friday, I stayed there and I watched Artemis returning back to Earth. And I got to tell you, I know everybody else went crazy over Artemis, and I was like, okay, I got other things I want to do. It was actually really cool watching the capsule come back to the United States of America. It was really cool to see it splash down near San Diego. Here's the latest. And by the way, we will have our NASA aerospace engineer join us on the program once again today.
Number 4.
Splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
Pretty cool. Really cool to watch as it splashes down. U.S. Navy goes out there, rescues them. The astronauts came back. And I'm glad I watched it because when you hear them talk, they talk like somebody who's been on a trip a long way away. And they did. But you've ever had a friend that went to Europe and they come back and they go, well, in Europe they do this and in Europe they do that. Especially if you got a high school kid that goes in exchange. Everything's about Europe. They talk about the Earth in such a different way because their perspective has been so widened versus you and me that kind of has an idea what the world looks like, kind of has an idea what the planet looks like, but unless you actually see it with your own 2 eyes, it really doesn't come to life for you the way they have. So I appreciated everything they did. I appreciated everything the NASA's done. We'll talk about that coming up here on Richmond's Morning News. Final story of the day. This is about tipping. How many of you go to dinner and when you get the bill, you react like this?
Number 5.
So I was just brutally reminded why I don't go out to eat anymore. I went and met someone for lunch, went to Outback Steakhouse. I literally ordered a salad with grilled chicken on it. Pretty good sized salad, but it's all lettuce and tomato and some bacon bits. I had literally 4 little strips of grilled chicken on there. I drank water. My bill with the tip was $25. What in the world's going on?
$25. When you use the word literally twice, I got to wonder, do you literally mean that or do you figuratively mean that? Difference between the two. Like I always say about Donald Trump, take him figuratively, but not literally. If you take him literally, you're going to go crazy with all the things that he says. But if you take him figuratively, okay, that's a figure of speech. It works. Maybe I should take him as a figure of speech. But here's what I'm going to tell you. A lot of people feel that way, and that's why we're going to open up our James River Air text line for you this morning at 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. How many of you go to dinner less, go out to eat less now just because the cost of everything is so ridiculously high, so stupidly high? There's times where, and I've said this before, we'll go to dinner, and I look at the bill, I'm like, what? This is what I would spend on a night out to celebrate something, not a Tuesday because we didn't feel like cooking. Now, again, for the get off your lawn folks. Gas is not 99 cents anymore. A price of a haircut is not $5. Everything's more expensive. I get that. But I look at what I see when I go out to dinner. I'm like, this is ridiculous that everything costs so much. And then on top of that, there's a story about now a restaurant. So a woman she was in Hawaii on vacation. She went to eat, and she looked at her bill. She goes, let me look at my bill. And I hardly ever look at my bill. There was a 3% kitchen appreciation fee added on to the bill. A $3 kitchen appreciation fee. Well, I appreciate the cook very much, but that's your job to cook me dinner. Why am I appreciating you with a fee? But if you look at it, all these little fees, all these extra tips, and now tipping, I was somewhere this weekend, I won't tell you where, and we ordered a bottle of water, and the person just had to pull it out of the cooler, and you go to pay with your card, they flip that tablet along, they look at you and glare at you when the tablet asked me to tip 18% for you reaching in the cooler and handing me a bottle of water. You didn't pour the water, you didn't put it over ice, you didn't walk over, hand it to me. I walk up to you, make the transaction, and you want 18% for going like this. Grabbing it here, moving it there, you want 18%. No. Like, have you ever noticed when you go to the airport? If you're not careful, they have self-serve kiosks when you go to get your snacks in the little newsstand. If you're not careful, they actually have a 18% tip that's added on for self-service. This is getting ridiculous. This is getting over the top. I want to know what you guys think. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140 is the number for you to join us. Do you go out to dinner a little less? And is the fact that you get hit up for everything? I don't mind tipping. I will over tip. Great service. I'll really over tip. I see a busboy that's hustling, I'll slip him $5. Say, hey, thanks for going above and beyond. But if you're just handing me a bottle of water out of a cooler and you want me to tip you 18%, or I go and I self-serve and you expect a tip, that's too much. I want to know what you guys think. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140 is the number for you to join us here on Richmond's Morning News. We've got, like I said, a lot to